Hey everyone, welcome back to Club Cal Online. I'm Grace and I'm here with Arash, and we are going to take you through a mobility lower class today. So as far as equipment, you just need a couple of things for today's class, a yoga mat or just some comfortable floor space. We have a couple of things. We're going to be doing a lot of front split and lunging, so things that can help prop you up. So yoga blocks, PVC pipes to hold on to. If you don't have two like PVC pipes, two chairs on either side can be useful for what we're doing. You'll just need something to kind of brace yourself in these positions. The other thing that you'll need is some kind of slider. We will not be using a slider here, but this movement will be made easier with some kind of slider. So if you're on a wood floor at home, like a towel, or if you're on carpet, a plastic frisbee, plastic plate, paper plate, anything that kind of slides along the surface of your floor will work for what we're doing. All right, so we're just gonna warm up a little bit before we get into these movements, just starting with some reverse lunges. So you guys will just start with feet together, step back and forward. And we're just gonna go for about a minute. And we're only gonna do one round of these. All we're doing here is just trying to warm up the legs. Our main focus today is going to be front split mobility. So hip flexors, quads, hamstrings, and it's going to be really active. So we want to make sure that we warm up those muscles really well before we go too deep into these movements. Excellent. And with our lunge, not too particular on form here. Just want to make sure the chest is fairly upright, that we're not using our hands to push off our legs, right? We want the legs to be doing the work here. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor like Arash is. If you're able to get into that range of motion, great. If not, doesn't matter. We're just moving. We're just warming up. Good, good. Let's take a couple more reps here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. We're going to take it into some Cossack. So you're going to take the legs a little bit wider, quite a bit wider than shoulder width. Both heels on the ground. You're going to go as low as you can into one side, all the way up into the center, as low as you can to the other side. And go for it. Nice. How low you go is really just going to depend on your mobility. Arash is getting pretty low into that side lunge. Your side lunge might not look like that today. That's okay. If your side lunge looks like this today, that's all good. Aim to keep the heels firmly planted on the floor. If your heel is popping up, maybe you just don't go quite so low. Good. We'll go for another 15 seconds or so. How you feeling? You're feeling it? Don't worry, we're only doing this one time. And then we're gonna move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The next one is going to be some Pike Walks. So you're just going to kind of use whatever space you have around you in your house for this one. So you're going to stand with one leg slightly in front of the other. If you're really mobile, both legs are locked, hands on the ground. You're going to take a double bounce, step forward, double bounce. Okay. If you're pretty tight here, knees can be bent as much as you need to. And we want to stay low as we take those steps. So we're just going to go for about a minute. You can take a few steps forward, then you can make your way backwards. We're just easing our way into those hamstrings, and go for it. Perfect. Good, good. And again, don't be afraid to bend the knees as much or as little as you need to. And this is still just a part of our warm-up, guys, so don't feel like you have to go real deep into it. If you are doing this after a workout, like if you've just done a leg workout, then you might be able to really get into it, but we're still just warming up, so go easy on those hammies. We're a little over halfway. Got about 20 seconds to go. Good, guys, we got about 10 more seconds, couple more reps here. Pretty heavy on the hammies. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stand up. The last warm-up movement we're gonna do is one of my favorites for the hips and the lower body. You're gonna do standing knee circles. So you're gonna stand on one leg. This knee is gonna be bent at 90 degrees, and you're just gonna take as big of a circle as you can with that leg, okay, in one direction, and then you're gonna reverse it, go the other way. Go slow, get that knee as high as you can. What we're aiming for is not bending from the waist, but keeping everything stable, just moving that leg. All right, we're gonna do a full minute per side, and we're gonna get into our first exercise. And go for it. Yep, you got it. Just a big circle, and then reverse. Yep, and try to keep your torso upright. Yeah. And if you guys need it, if you're struggling with that balance, you can hold on to a wall or a chair. Good, yep, and try to keep the hips facing forward the whole time. Keep that chest up. Yeah. We're just over halfway. The balance is a part of it here. Good. And if you're finding that your chest is kind of moving all over the place, maybe a smaller circle, right? We only want that circle as big as we can make it without moving the torso around. Yep, keep it upright, upright, upright. There you go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, shake out the legs a little bit. How's that feel? Tough. Yeah. All right, other side, and begin. So guys, we got a couple things going on in this movement. We are working the stability of that standing leg. So if you are feeling your standing leg a lot more than the lifted leg, that's totally normal. And then we're also working the mobility and the hip range of the lifted leg. Love. That's harder on that side, yeah. And that leg's gonna be a little more fatigued since you just worked it, so that makes sense. We're about halfway, guys. And again, we're only doing this one time. Good, good, good. And there's usually a spot, for most people, it's like right here, where it gets a little shaky and a little jerky. That's totally normal. Try to smooth it out as best you can. We got 10 seconds. Yep, yep, yep. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Okay, we're gonna go into our first mobility movement. Again, we're focusing on our front split, so we're gonna do a lot of active split movements. So the first one, you're gonna come into a forward fold, similar to that position that you guys did in the pike walk. If you're pretty tight in your hamstrings, maybe grab blocks, books, something that you can put your hands on. If you're pretty mobile, hands can be on the ground. So one leg is forward. You're gonna lift the other leg, so it's not a kick, it's a nice slow controlled lift and lower. As you're lifting, you also wanna actively pull your chest down over the top of the thigh. Okay, so again, not a kick, slow controlled lift. We're squeezing this glute, squeezing this quad, pulling yourself into that split, okay? We're gonna go for time here, about 30 seconds per side. Go ahead and set it up, guys, and begin. Yeah, that's it, good. I love the pace that we have here, nice and slow, good. And we wanna try to get that standing leg as straight as possible. If you guys are feeling a lot of pressure either in the back of the knee or up at the top of the hamstring, go ahead and bend that knee just a little bit to take that pressure off. Good, let's get a couple more good reps here. Pull the chest down over the top of the thigh. Yeah, there we go. And switch side. Let's do it on the other side. Nice work. We're doing all the hamstring things today. And go for it. Nice. Good. And if you guys can see Arash while you're doing this, you can see how slow he's going, how intentional he's being at that end range of motion. Right here, he's pulling that leg up, really pulling the chest down over the top of the thigh. And you guys will probably notice one side is probably a lot easier than the other, totally normal. We typically have one side that's more flexible. Final rep here. Good, and rest. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of active compression in that split. So you guys are gonna go into a half split where you're gonna have one leg forward and this leg is straight, and then your hips are right on top of that back knee. Then from here, either hands on the blocks or hands on the floor, we're gonna do some compression lifts. Okay, building strength in that range. This is a tough lift, so if you're not getting any lift at all, you're just gonna scoot your hips back towards your heels as far as you need to. You can even be all the way back here to get some lift. Okay, this one we're also doing for time, 30 seconds. All right, and begin. Good. Yes, as you can tell, this is a challenging movement. And guys, you might not be getting more than an inch of lift or even that, and that's okay, right? You're not gonna get that leg unless you're really mobile, super high. It's not about the height, it's just about building that strength through the hip flexors. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. Other side. Other side. Ready? And begin. Good. You guys are gonna feel this a lot in the hip flexor, right? The top of the hip, the quad, your abs. Good, good, good. 15, we're halfway. This is brutal. It's harder than it looks. And again, if you're really not getting any lift at all, you can move your hips back towards your heels as much as you need to. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Whew, good work. All right, round 2, same thing. We're going into those standing split lifts. Same thing we did before. All right, choose a side. We're going for 30 seconds, guys, and begin. You've done this once already. We're on round 2. Let's see if we can get a little bit more range here, right? Really pulling that chest over the top of the thigh, pulling that back leg as high as you can. Good, good, good. Yes, last rep here. Well done, good job, other side. And begin. Good. All these things, guys, they are harder than they look. Mobility training is tough, right? Right? I am definitely guilty of taking the attitude of like, oh, it's just a mobility class. It'll be relaxing. It'll be, you know, chill. It's usually not. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, good. All right, shake out those legs. We're gonna make our way back down into that half split. Second round of compressions. And guys, we're only doing 2 rounds of this today, so this will be the last time you have to go through this torture. Okay. And begin, you got it. You've done a lot of this type of stuff today. Good, yep. So what we're doing, guys, is we're not just passive stretching, although that has its value, but we really want to build strength in whatever range of motion we're creating. It's going to keep our joints safe. 10 more seconds. It translates to a lot of the skills that we work in calisthenics. 3, 2, and rest. Well done. Oh, those hip flexors. But our next set of exercises, we're going to stretch those hip flexors, so it'll feel good. And go for it. Yes. Very nice. Good job, good job. I know it's brutal. Again, this is the kind of stuff that we don't like to do on our own. I don't anyway. I really need some accountability for this type of stuff. 10 seconds. You guys at home, keep it moving. We're almost there. Really fight for that lift, even if it's a half inch, an inch. 3, 2, and rest. Well done. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next set of exercises, continuing to work into our active front split. So for this next one, pardon me, I would recommend really getting a fair amount of padding under your back knee because we are going to be getting up on that kneecap. So what I like to do, I like to roll up my mat several times. If you're at home, you can even put a pillow underneath your knee because again, we'll be coming up on that kneecap. So you're going to set up your lunge position. Okay, both knees are bent this time. You can use those blocks to keep you propped up. Then we're going to bend that back leg. So staying low in the lunge, where you're going to bend your back leg, pull your heel towards your butt, and then release. So it really should create this really deep quad and hip flexor stretch. But again, we're building strength, right? We're using our own strength, our own muscle to get into that deep stretch. Okay, this is going to be 30 seconds per side. And you're going to feel your hamstrings working quite a bit here. And go for it. Good. Feel that stretch in your quad. Good. Good. And it, yeah, you can go as deep into that lunge as you need to. Yeah, good. There it is. And you guys at home, as you're doing this, you'll probably notice that you're feeling your hamstring quite a bit, right? It really should be working against your hips here. Last one. Good, and rest. And before we go to the other side, we're gonna work some hip rotation. So you're gonna go back into that half split. You're gonna straighten out that front leg, so same side. We're gonna flex the toes back towards our face. Then from here, we're just gonna work internal, external rotation of the hip. You're gonna go as far as you can internally and then as far as you can externally. Try not to move your hip side to side. Just think about that bone rotating in its socket, okay? And begin. Good, go slow, pause at that end range of motion. Get as much internal rotation as you can, then as much external rotation as you can. Beautiful. Yep, we're trying to keep our knee mostly straight here. Keeping that leg really active for 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, let's take it to the other side, starting with the bend and straighten of that back leg. And for those of you guys who are more mobile, you're gonna want that front foot a little bit farther forward so you can get into a pretty deep lunge here. All right, and let's do it. Awesome. Another thing we want to think about here is keeping the hips low as you pull that heel towards your butt. So we don't want to come out of the lunge, right? Even if you're not bending your knee very far, that's okay. Nice. Good. Keep the hips low. Big squeeze here for 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're gonna straighten out that front leg. We're staying on the same side. We're gonna work that internal, external rotation and begin. Good, and all we're trying to do here is just getting some movement through that hip joint. Kind of working that end range. Be really aware of your hips and core. We don't wanna move those around. We're just rotating in and out. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're gonna do one more round of each of those. Before we do, let's just sit back on the heels real quick. Bring the heels together, bring the hips back. Maybe take the hips side to side, just kind of move them around a little bit before we go into that next round. We're gonna do one more round of those 2, and then we're gonna go into our grand finale. We're gonna do some active split slides. that Arash is really excited about. All right, guys, let's go on to that first side. We're gonna do the bend and straighten of the back knee. Whatever side you started on last time, we're doing that same side. And now that we've done it once, let's see if you can get those hips down just a little bit farther if that range of motion is available for you. And begin. Awesome. And you guys at home might not be getting as much range as Arash is. He's kind of almost getting the heel all the way to his glute. That might not be your range. You might just be getting the foot like 6 inches off the ground, and that's okay. If you've got really tight quads, that might be what it looks like today, and that's all right. 3, 2, and 1. Let's straighten out that front leg. We got internal, external rotation. And begin. We're just gonna kind of go right into it here. Good. And this time, if it feels okay, you can lean forward and actually start to put a little bit of a stretch on that hamstring as you rotate. That's great. Yep. Yeah, 3, 2, and 1. That one feels really good. You can really, really loosen up that hip joint in a good way. All right, let's do that other side. Starting with the knee bend. And begin. Good, and if you guys have a little bit deeper range here, let's see if we can sink those hips down a little bit farther. If not, that's okay. Don't force something that's not there for you. But it is a good idea sometimes to kind of explore to see if you have more range of motion after doing it once already. Awesome. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and straighten out that front leg. And again, this time, if you didn't already, let's see if we can get a little bit of a hamstring stretch on it. So maybe lean that chest forward, get a little bit of a stretch, and then rotate and begin. Good. Yep, and again, it should feel good on the hips. Make sure it's in a pain-free range of motion. If something is sharp, shooting pain, doesn't feel good, just ease off. 10 seconds. Nice. Does that feel okay? Yes. Good. Good. 3, 2, and rest. All right, guys. We're going to go into our final exercise. This is an active split. I'll show this one. You can give those legs a little break. So this is where we're going to use our PVC pipes. This is where you're going to use your slider. If you don't have 2 of the dowels, I'd recommend maybe a couple of chairs or stools or something that you can hold on to on either side. And we actually don't have our sliders today, so we're gonna make it extra challenging on Arash. So you guys are gonna start off in that half split, right? So hip right on top of the knee, leg is extended. You're gonna slide out, so the slider is gonna be underneath your front heel. Again, we don't have our sliders today, but you can imagine slider is underneath this front heel. You're gonna slide out as far as you can into a split, and then you're gonna use the strength of your legs to try and pull back up. Okay, this is a lot on your hip flexors and hamstrings, so this is why we have our supports here with us, so you can use your arms to take some of that weight out of it. And what we want to be aware of is making sure that the hips stay facing forward. What we don't want is to open up the hips as we slide into it. Okay, we really want to keep both hips facing forward. Then you're going to push down with that front heel, push down with your back knee, and use your legs as much as possible to pull back out of it, okay? We're gonna do 5 reps per side, 2 rounds, and then you guys will be done. We're not doing any passive stretching today. We're really just gonna focus on the active part of it. And then if you guys wanna do a passive split after this, you're totally welcome to. All right, you ready? Let's straighten out that front leg, yep. And here we go for 1. So you're gonna slide out. Use the legs as much as possible to pull back up. Yep. And that's why you really need a slider for this. Sorry. 2, and if you don't want to get so deep into it that you can't pull back out of it, right? We want to make sure that you're in a range. Yes, you're in a range that's right, that you can come back out of it. Here's 3. And guys at home, this is a really intense movement. Really be listening to those hammies, those hip flexors. You're doing awesome. 4. You can also choose to do it without a slider if you'd like. You can see, and it makes it much more difficult. Last one. Good, slide out, active, pull back up. Woo, nice job. And switch sides. I'm gonna do 5 reps on the other side. Again, guys, listen to those joints. You might not be going so deep into that split that you can't come back out of it. We wanna make sure that we can pull back out of it. Use the hamstring, use the hip flexor. Yeah, there we go. Good, guys, make sure you guys get 5 reps. Good, pull. Well done. Good, is that 3? Okay, here's 4. Good, and you guys will most likely, unless you've done this many times before, you'll almost have to use your arms to help you out of it. That's okay. The goal is to use the arms as minimally as possible. Good job. All right. You guys at home, make sure you get 5 per side. If you need to, shake out those hips a little bit, move them around. We are gonna do 1 more set per side, and then you guys will be good to go. You ready? Okay. We've done it once. Maybe you can get a little bit lower this time, but again, don't force anything that's not there for you today. Yes, good, pull. Very nice. Good, yep. You guys should be feeling a lot of work on the hip flexor of the back leg and then the hamstring of the front leg. Those are the muscles you're using to pull the legs into it, yep. Again, we're building strength in our front split. Good. How many is this? 4? Okay, we got 1 more on this side. Good, yes. Pull. Good. You guys at home, finish out those 5 reps whenever you're ready. We're gonna do that last set on this other side. And again, we are not gonna spend any time in a passive front split. So if you guys would like to, after this video, you can go ahead and begin whenever you're ready. Since you're super warmed up, if you'd like to spend a little bit of time just holding that front split, this is a great time to do so when you're super warmed up. But again, we're just focusing on that active part today. Yes, nice. Almost there, guys. We're so close to being done. A couple more reps here. Stick with it. Pull. Use the hip flexors, use the hamstrings. It's looking good. Nice. Pull. Yes. One more? One more. Okay. All right. Good. And pull. Nice job. Good work. All right. You guys at home, also really good job today. Again, now's a great time to hold some splits if you're feeling up for it. Otherwise, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time.